Hello everybody, welcome to my channel or welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about turns, specifically what you need to do to get your turns more consistent and how to do more turns. I'm going to talk about some things that I don't think most teachers focus on that should help you to be able to get turns way more consistently, and you're no longer going to have good turning days because all of your turning days are going to be good. If you enjoy watching this and the tips were helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And let's go. This first tip is going to be my number one most important crucial tip. If you don't learn anything else from this video and you click out, I want you to think about this when you turn. So when you strip a turn down and you take it apart, you have your prep, you have the balance, you have the spotting. I don't think that many teachers go about teaching the balance and the prep aspect the right way, and this is why. So I know we've all heard a lot of teachers say to us, oh, if you can hold your passe for 4 counts, then you should be able to do 4 pirouettes. And this is partially true because obviously you need to be able to balance for the same amount of time that you're going to be turning, but it doesn't take into account how you're getting into that balance. Because if you think about it like this, you might be able to balance for 4 counts. But how are you getting into the balance? Being able to balance at the bar when you have a chance to hold on to something and then let go is a completely different experience from going from a prep into your position and holding it. So you really need to master the balance coming from the specific preparation that you're going to be doing. So that's number one, is you need to get consistent finding your balance from a preparation. And you need to practice that in different types of preparation. So you could do your jazz pirouette preparation into a passe. You could do it from like a ballet fourth into passe. You could do same thing into an attitude. Any position that you'll be turning in and any kind of prep that you might be expected to do, you need to work on finding consistent balance from there. An example, an analogy would be you play a lot of Mario Kart. You don't have your license yet to drive on the real road, but you play a lot of Mario Kart and you're really good at Mario Kart, but then for some reason when you get out onto the actual street you're a horrible driver. And that's because it's not the same context. So I mean, like, balancing from whatever position is completely different from coming from your prep. So you need to work on prep, balance, hold, hold, hold. So then comes part 2, how do you find your balance? So in all honesty, someone can do a lot of turns and someone can balance for a very long time without having proper technique. I know we've all seen it, like those people that do a lot of turns but maybe their heel starts to drop on their supporting leg, or those people that can balance for a very long time but maybe their knee is a little bit bent. And that's because balance just comes down to finding your center of gravity and changing the alignments between your upper body and the rest of your body to be able to find the balance. So example, I could stand here, I hope you can see me. My base leg could be a little bit bent, I could be not holding my upper body, and I can still figure out how to balance because I am just changing the alignments of my foot. I'm using the weight here, I'm using the weight of my head to stay centered over my foot. So you might think like, oh, then if it's so easy to balance, then why is it still so hard to stay balanced while you turn? I'm not trying to be like annoying about technique because I know that dance can be equally as beautiful without technique. But if you really are focused on getting consistent turns, then your technique really can help you here. So that example that I showed you with me like bouncing around in my balance, that's not a very consistent way to find your balance. What you want is to have trained your body and practiced good technique enough that as soon as you get up into that balancing position, your muscle memory kind of takes over. You are gonna have to think about it a little bit, but you're able to just lock everything in and hold the balance. And that is what those really amazing turners do. Those people that you see, those ballerinas, those girls that just do like 6 or 7 turns. The key to it is that they're able to find that proper position and lock it in immediately. This is going to take a lot of practice. There's honestly no way around it. And the reason is you are going to be having to make so many small, minute adjustments with your upper body, with pulling up in your base leg, that you're going to have to practice it a long time before your body can like figure out what it needs to do every time. But to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to give you some pointers on things that will help you be able to easily find that position. So first off, the thing that I talk about very frequently would be your back and your upper body. So let me move you guys. is this straight? I don't know if I made that better. That was probably didn't do anything. You don't want to have any kind of arch in your back. There are a couple ways you can think about it. I know a lot of times I say think about pulling your belly button into your spine and closing your ribs. I've seen some people talk about having a zipper, so zipping from your ribs, from the top of this pubic bone. I hate that word, pubic bone, but having it zip together, and so your back is not arched. And then your upper body is extremely, extremely important here. Your whole upper back and the sides of your arms should be engaged while you're turning, and that will help you tremendously. You feel so locked in, like you're able to find that position right away every time you turn, and it helps you so much. If I am just loosey-goosey like this, and I have no tension at all in my hands, in my back, and my arms, if I try and bring my arms up quickly, they literally will swing back like this. If I slightly engage my back by rolling my shoulders down, they will be stopped pretty much here, right? Like I can't, physically it's very difficult for me to pull them back further than that. Now, if I also engage from behind my arms, squeeze my back, I pull my zipper in, then when I throw my arms up, they stop right here where they need to be. And it's the same thing to the side. Like if I do nothing, I can just splay my arms out. If I hold my back, they'll be stopped right here. But if I hold everything in place, I pull my tummy in, lift my chin, and when I swing them out, they naturally will just stop where they need to go. I feel like I'm screaming at you guys. I'm hoping that this is making sense. Hopefully I'm not talking too fast. So when you're in your first position, it should not be going above your heart, shouldn't be going below your belly button. It's gonna depend on your teachers, your style of dance, where exactly they're gonna want your arms. Just really watch your shoulders and everything. If your shoulders are able to lift up, you're not actively engaging your back and rolling everything down. So after you've got your upper body sorted out, you want to start working on the prep to the balance. Your prep is another thing that you want to work on getting very consistent. I'm just going to be talking about jazz pirouettes right now, so with a parallel passe. First things first is you need to make sure that your front knee is not going over your toe, and that you're also not putting too much weight in the back foot. Should be about 75% in your front foot, but still enough in this foot that you can press off of it and immediately pull it into your passe. So as I mentioned earlier, you want to get to that position as quickly as possible so your body doesn't have to make any adjustments as you're turning, because that's inevitably going to throw you off. You need to figure out how to go from here up to a passe and hold. And from there, once you have the proper positioning, you just need to practice the preps over and over and over and make slight adjustments to everything until you can find that secure position where you just feel like this is it, this is where I should be turning. What might help is recording yourself. So I can record myself doing this prep and I see where I start to fall, or I just think about it, I'm falling forward and to the left. And so that means maybe I need to pull my head up a little bit and a little bit back so it's in line with my neck. And then I'll try it again. And here, and now I'm falling too far back. So you just have to keep repeating that process of working on the prep and finding that sweet spot of where you can balance. Other things to keep in mind are, of course, really pushing down into the floor, but pulling up on this leg at the same time. Keeping your leg super straight with all of your muscles engaged will just secure you into that spot a little bit more and make your turns more consistent. If you practice with that system in mind, with practicing from whatever preparation to whatever position you want to turn in, you can take this concept to any type of turn. Whether it's an attitude turn or you're doing like an arabesque turn, the principle is still the same. One thing I do want to emphasize is that these are supposed to be very small adjustments. Make slight tweaks every time and see what works and what doesn't. It's like you're doing little science experiments and you're changing one little variable just a little bit and seeing if it affects the resulting outcome. I also will say your arms are there to help you. And if you are going to be doing more than 3 or 4 turns, it may be beneficial for you to start overlapping and closing your arms in towards yourself. Because what happens is as you turn, your foot is making contact with the floor, and with friction, you're going to start slowing down, and bringing in your arms will make your turn go a little bit faster and you'll be able to do more. So let's recap. What's important, children? This is not Dora the Explorer, I'm sorry. You need to practice the balance into the position where you will be turning. You need to figure out how to adjust the alignment of your body to be able to balance and do consistent turns. Remember to be patient with yourself because it's gonna take a lot of time. It's gonna take a lot of minor adjustments before you can figure it out. But this is also where having someone else watch you might help. You can get feedback from another person because they might be able to see something in your turns that you're unable to see yourself. So I really hope this was helpful. If you want to see another video, click right here. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I have some videos planned, but I'm happy to do some different ones if you guys want something else. Stay tuned. 2 videos a week now for this month at least until I lose my mind. Follow me on Instagram if you aren't already because I post some other helpful tips and stuff on there. But other than that, I'm very glad that you are here. I hope that your turns go well. Be patient and have the best day. I will see you guys in a few more days. Bye!